Yo. 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 Dabi versus Shoto. Todoroki family drama. This episode has to silence the haters. And there have been insane amount of haters for My Hero Academia ever since it started way back in season 1. Generic shonen trash, whatever show, meh, gonna get canceled, no one likes this. And really since last season, into this season, to see all the setup of different characters and where they've ultimately come for the final battle is legitimately masterpiece level writing. And I'm gonna be so bold, I thought I was gonna say top 10. But this is a top 5 episode of the series today. And there's been a couple of those episodes already this season alone. And I think if we continue on the trend that we're going, the top 10 best episodes are just going to come from this season. And maybe that's a bit of an overreaction, but this ain't no go read the manga to get a better version of this fight, no. The music alone. It wasn't bombastic, it wasn't like over the top extreme metal, it was soft, somber, instrumentals, there was a soft singing voice, it just hurt your soul to realize how much deeper and more painful the Dabi stuff is. Dabi goes into a coma for 3 years, comes out, refuses this evil organization, goes back home, so why come back? He goes home and sees Endeavor. The whole family's already replaced him from his point of view, and the father's just as abusive as ever. And that hatred to keep him alive, his body was supposed to die in a month. He was supposed to be a spare vessel. And the fact that pure hatred, resentment, kept him alive just to get revenge. My heart aches for him. But to anyone who still thinks My Hero Academia is a generic shonen mess, you're fucking insane. This show is legitimately well written. At its worst, it's fun. I've said that, and I've had a consistent opinion on My Hero. Even at its worst, it's a fun superhero story. But the reason characters like Shoto, or Bakugo, or Deku, these characters can shine at moments unexpected is because, whatever you want to say, you think, oh, Horikoshi made some mistakes here and there. Everyone does. No one's perfect. But the man had a goddamn plan for these characters. And from what I'm seeing, this shit's a masterpiece. Full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full-length thoughts on any of these My Hero Academia episodes, it's over there exclusively. Oh, legitimately speechless. The longer it went, I thought what they were doing, first half, the slate comes in, says, okay, we're looking at Endeavor. I'm like, okay, it's okay, that's fine. I mean, it makes sense. You're shifting over to the dad's side. Maybe over the next couple of episodes, we'll see both fights. Nope, not at all. That was just to show one of his signature moves, and then Dabi ends up using it. And, the idea of dedicating the entirety of this episode, I think this is what really seals it for me. I'm used to, even in this show, fights lasting longer, and sometimes longer than I think they should. But there's a lot going on for an endgame battle, so we're going to shift to Deku's side, Endeavor side. There's a lot of things going on, so the fact that this could, for a few hours, however long, the end of the world is basically being directed as, is going to be a dozen or so episodes for these characters. So I'm expecting the Dabi versus Shoto stuff is going to last a few episodes minimum. Hell, I'm thinking it could be by the end of the first core because we might not just immediately go back. They showed the main meat and potatoes with the backstory stuff, so now we're engaged and want to see more. But by giving a whole episode just to this family drama, to see Shoto and the idea of the cold flames, I wasn't sure what was going on with that cross going. I just thought that was cool as hell. But to see that pure hatred, at times I'm thinking Dabi could be in Kaiju number 8 with his faces. At other points, I feel like he's a jump scare waiting to happen in a horror video game. But to see just, you got across hatred so beautifully with his directing, and the flames are up. Like, as they say in this episode, it's like the flames are just so wild. Like, they're not concentrated, they're not skillful, they're just pure insanity. And in a way, that's probably even worse than someone who's purposely using the flames in an elegant way, right? The idea of, though, Shoto just that connect, and then how, like, a few seconds later everything ruptures, and the style they went for, and then how when it cuts away you can tell the ice is different than any of his previous ice attacks. I mean, I watched the preview. I assumed before the preview guy wasn't going to make it, but even though they don't confirm it, I think the tears are falling for a reason. Because here's the thing, whether or not that attack put out the flames of hatred or not. His body has been trying to kill itself for a hot minute. And if that blow was enough to even momentarily stop his mind from just being a hater at the end of the day, he's probably dead. Or will die in the coming episodes, right? I mean, I can't say for sure, of course, I didn't read the manga, but that's what they want you to believe. But the idea of waking up and just, like, this is what I love about this author, more than I realized until this episode, is that when we had the whole Endeavor plotline and how emotional it was with the whole abusive angle, I thought we knew everything up to that point. Like I was like, okay, we're up to speed. And then more comes in with Dabi, waking up, refusing that sunflower bastard, going home. And it's like, well, wait a second, if he went home, because I'm thinking, okay, this makes sense. Like, he wakes up wanting to apologize to his dad, wanting to go home and learn from his dad. So what happened was clearly they kept him for years and they corrupted him. In fact, no, he actually escaped, went home, and that's where he truly broke. And the fact that then he ends up coming, and it's like, oh, that's even worse. That's even worse than I was expecting, but it's such good writing. And I think it makes the hatred he has so much more organic, because rather than it coming across as he's like this just because, you know, some evil villain manipulated him, instead, it's his own upbringing. It's his disappointment in himself, the disappointment in his family, and the disappointment feeling that he was not only replaced, but that nothing changed. If anything, it got worse. And that hatred keeping him alive just for revenge, it's like, you can't even blame the kid, but at the same time, it's so heartbreaking. And the fact that Shoto, of all characters, like, he made that move specifically for him. On one hand, you're so proud because, like Deku once said, these powers are your own, and absolutely they are, as seen by this episode. But imagine reuniting with your long-lost brother only for you to probably be the death of him. Granted, he was kind of already dying to begin with, but that ain't gonna be easy. Just overall, the longer this episode went on, the more I'm thinking to myself, this is why I love this show. I like the goofy, silly, simplistic side of the show. It's always been fun, but the fact that the endgame is this memorable, and the endgame is really last season plus this. It's not just this season. Like, season 6 and 7 together are the endgame. I still think back to when the school first got jumped in season 1. I remember my feelings clearly when that happened. I was like, damn, this is a really fun show, but I definitely know where it's gonna go by the end. Nope. Not at all. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree with me? Definitely a top 10 My Hero Academia episode. Frick, might even be a top 5. This whole season is going to be top 10 if we're being honest. Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're around. Of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alrighty, so today we got Hishiro Shin, Golden Angel 1517, Alcerin, Rion, Thrilled Axis 709, Mr. Yock, Proof Space, and SW Me. So I appreciate the support, everyone. And please take care, and you all have a good one.